Uprooted Theatrical Studios presents
The Trojan Women by Ellen McLaughlin.
Hello, my name is Stewart, and I play Poseidon.
Hi, my name is India Jane Grimsley, and I will be playing Hecuba.
Hi, my name is Madison Bailey, and I'm playing Helen.
Hi, my name is Janey Elliot, and I will be playing Cassandra.
Hi, my name is Huggins, and I will be playing Andromache.
Hello, my name is Taite McKinney, and I'll be playing Talthybius.
Hi, my name is Allyson Levine, and I will be playing Mother.
Hi, my name is Breanna Theobald, and I will be playing Sister.
Hi, my name is Eve Petty, and I will be playing Wife.
Hi, my name is Teacora Sherrill, and I'll be playing Daughter.
Hello, my name is Olivia Nelson, and I will be playing Craftswoman.
Setting: the shoreline below the conquered city of Troy. The stage is empty except for a group of women asleep on the ground. They are the last of the women of Troy. Some of them in the remnant of what were once ornate garments, since they made up the retinue of the queen. Some are in more modest clothing. All are refugees. In the center is the queen, Hecuba. Poseidon enters. He looks at the sleeping women.
I am Poseidon, stepped up from my element, the sea, to walk one last time on the broken streets of the only city I ever loved. Troy, what have they done to you? Your gentle gates, your tall trees, your fine spires, all gone, a ruin, a memory of a great city. Another war has ended. When will the next begin?
I dream of a city.
My home.
I am a mother there.
I am a sister.
I am a wife.
I am a daughter.
I am a fine craftswoman.
I heal the sick.
I carry milk from my goats on the hills.
I know everyone.
I sell herbs.
I am an artist. I paint fine drawings on slender vases.
I am a great beauty.
I am a gossip.
So many stories to tell.
And all these women, these sleeping mothers, wives, and daughters, become trophies, spoils, baggage.
The smoke curls from morning fires.
The song of the fishmongers in the early light.
The scent of flowers on a ledge.
The streets.
The streets.
The streets.
Curving up the hills from the sea.
Echoing voices.
Laughter.
Talk.
Children's games.
Tradesmen's yells.
Dogs barking.
Cooking smells circling from all the hearth fires.
All the families.
All the children fed.
Such a city.
Such a city.
Such a city.
My home.
My home.
My home.
Every corner.
Every stone of every street.
I know it like the back of my hand.
Like the roof of my mouth.
Like the colors I find on the back of my closed eyelids.
It was mine.
It was mine.
It was mine.
I dream of a city.
My home.
Even she, who was the queen, nothing now, a lot cast in the game of endings. Odysseus, they say, drew her, he who devised the Trojan horse, that cunning and terrible trick. He will drag the queen of Troy home in a saddlebag to toss before his patient wife. Don't wake up, lady. Whatever you dream, even the most horrifying dream, cannot be worse than what you will awake to. Here is the end of meaning. Here is loss beyond comprehension.
In a moment, a stone will be thrown at these sleeping crows. They will flap upward, shocked from their homes on the ground. They will circle upon each other, screaming, twisting the air like rope. At the center of this coil of wings, I am the blackest crow, the mother of all confused and lost. It will be for me to make order of this chaos. Our flight will be eternal. For sustenance we will each the wind, stay the hands that throws the stone. But one more moment. Just one more moment. Let us weigh the soft, ordinary dirt with our accustomed bodies.
Oh, sleep. Sleep a little longer. From the moment you wake until your deaths, you will be exiles.
Poseidon exits. Helen appears. She walks among the sleeping bodies. She is exquisitely dressed in a vivid contrast to the women she steps around. Her long hair is beautifully coiffed.
I too loved Troy. Like you, soon I will stand at the back of a ship and watch the smoking shore disappear from view, remembering the beauty of the city I brought to ruin. The sound of her fountains, the songbirds that graced her rustling, fragrant gardens, the fruits that bobbed in the gentle breeze of her orchards. All this I will think of as the sails belly us away and we drag a snake of foam behind our sharp prows. Soon, what's left of her will be lost to the gray waves. All that will remain is the memory. Such a city. The city I came to destroy.
Helen exits. Hecuba wakes.
My Troy. Crossroads and shade trees, marketplaces and schools. Grave of my ancestors. Wake, my women! Today is our death. Lift up your heads and rise to be slaves.
My queen, why do you wake us?
What's the matter?
Where are we?
Why are we here?
Is the queen upset?
Oh, the dream I had. I remember they brought us here last night.
I'm shivering.
Is it the cold or is it fright?
Where is my brother? Oh, of course.
I remember now.
I remember now.
I remember now.
The war.
The war.
Our ruined city.
Our scattered families?
All the wounded.
All the maddened ones. All the dead.
I thought I might have dreamed it.
Oh, the dream I had. I thought it might have been a dream.
I keep thinking I'll wake up from it. And then we wake to this.
Day is breaking and with it our lives. Today the fleet will leave and we will go with it to Greece. Today we will leave our homes and each other. We will scatter. Each alone to our fates. We will be strangers in a foreign land forever after.
I can't even imagine it.
Places I've only heard of. Argos, the islands, Sparta?
I once went to Greece. It was a long time ago. The great house at the foot of Olympus, the holy mountains. It was really quite beautiful. No one was poor or hungry. It was so warm. The ground smelled good, like bread.
It might not be so bad.
What do you mean? We will be slaves.
Prostitutes.
Spat on.
I don't know the languages. They'll laugh at me.
They'll kick you first.
No bruises. We are prizes. Beauties, whores.
I will be homesick for the rest of my life.
I'm already homesick. My home doesn't exist anymore.
Perhaps we shall sail past Greece and west to Africa. They say it never rains there and the earth has turned to sand. And I've heard of Sicily. The mountains are cool. It's covered with forests. And in the plains, the grass grows up to your waist. I think they would welcome us in Sicily. They say if you wash your hair in the rivers, it comes out gold. Gold dust.
What are you talking about?
Don't be a fool.
Gold, they say.
What is that fire?
Look, a blaze.
What terrible brightness comes here.
Is the city on fire?
No, it's just a girl, but her mind is aflame.
Burn high, burn strong, burn bright, burn long.
Oh, look on her and let her break your heart. It is my mad daughter, my beautiful Cassandra.
Cassandra enters dressed in a white garlanded, carrying a torch.
Enter the bride. Happy, happy day. Where are the dancers? Where are the singers? Where are my maiden friends to swell the procession? Dance me now. Sing me now to my bright, burning bed. I, lucky child, to be the queen of Greece. Lucky virgin to trade my priestess veil for the wedding garland. King Agamemnon calls for me, the king himself. Blood of my brother washed from his hands. He calls the queen's mad daughter to his groaning bed. In his bloated ship, laden with my city's jewels, pans, and brooches, he calls to take me, mad me, across the sea to his neglected kingdom and his murderous wife. That wife, that mother of his child, whose throat he slit to appease the goddess, to blow the winds, to set the sails, to bring the army to our walls, to sack the city, to kill my family all those 10 years ago. That wife, home to her, with mad me in the crook of his arm. Happy, happy day! Raise the torch high.
Oh, my poor child, you do not know what you are saying. You are still in the power of Apollo, who loved you and cursed you all at once.
Happy day! Happy Trojans!
You cannot mean what you are saying.
But I do. Poor blind Greeks. Their general, so wise, killed his favorite daughter to come here, to waste his best years watching his men die on our beaches, far from home. Their children that were babies when they left grew up without them, learned how to walk, how to speak, run, play, write, and read. 10 years is a long time, all without them. And while the fathers threw themselves against the walls of our city, as those years passed, sons and daughters forgot their father's face, forgot their father's touch, his smell, the sound of his voice, until they found they seldom thought of him. Almost never, in fact, and always without much feeling. And they watch their mothers grow old and uncertain, not knowing if they are widows or not. The years go by. The poor Greeks, our conquerors, homesick and tired, eternally squabbling, mending their armor, stealing from each other, squinting out from our beaches across the water from which they came so long ago, and for what? Some wandered one, some faded adulteress, for whom they lay down their lives for 10 long years, stand in their beds, meal after wretched army meal, days and months and season after season. Men, you hear, pity them, and pity most of all the bridegroom general, Agamemnon. For when he carries me with him, he carries his death. The axe is on him, and on mad me. Oh, yes. I am there, naked beside him in the open grave. I see us both, but we shall both be dead. Are you there, my father? Are you there, my brothers? I'm coming! I'm coming! Where is the bridegroom? My stamping general! Here is the bride! Here is the bride!
Cassandra exits.
Apollo! She was your favorite! Is this your ecstasy? Is this your blessing, raving and laughing as she goes to her death? What can it mean to be a favorite to such a god? Have all the gods gone mad? What kind of a world is this? Women, help me sing.
What shall we sing about?
Sing of the horse.
Yes, sing of the horse.
The way we saw it, so high and silent out on the beach in the early morning.
Dawn streaking its mighty flanks pink.
How tall it was, higher than the walls of the city.
And its enormous glittering eyes.
Smile curved on its lips.
Its long black legs.
Its ribs hooped like the hull of a ship.
Its curved neck.
Its massive head.
Oh, we wanted it inside with us.
As they dragged it in, we sang all the songs we hadn't sung since before the war.
We danced around it in the square.
Peace, we thought.
With this beautiful wooden gift at the center.
Bonfires burning all night long.
All over the city.
And instruments played that we'd almost forgotten how to play. It had been so long.
The children were up so late.
But how could you keep them in bed?
Everyone was so happy.
At last.
And when sleep finally came, you slept to the fading sounds of a rejoicing city. I thought, this is the first night we shall all sleep together in peacetime, my husband beside me. I thought, praise God, he is still alive. We have survived the war intact. All of us, praise God. And I slept, curled beside him, smiling.
I woke when the children came to bed. Their hands were cold, they were trembling. The Greeks, they said. The Greeks have come out of the horse.
Who could believe it?
Who could believe it?
And the black wave of death swallowed the city, coursed in rivers down the street, through open windows, overturned all the cradles, tipped all the spires, cracked the walls.
And we lost everything.
Just when we thought we'd saved it forever.
Nothing more cruel.
Nothing more terrible
than hope.
Hope.
Followed by such darkness. A night we still wander in, calling the names of our husbands.
Our lovers.
Our friends.
Our children.
Helen enters.
Was it only yesterday you were still my subject? Only yesterday when you still had to watch me from your place at the long table and wait until I raised my glass before you could begin to drink. How long ago it seems. And how like you, coward that you are, to wait until we are reduced to chattel, slaves at an auction before you dare to walk among us.
Slavery is new to you. No wonder you chafe at it. When you've endured it as long as I have, years and years, you'll learn to stand up to it without so much self-pity. And then you'll know what I have had to bear.
What have you ever borne besides a lover's weight?
The contempt of the world. You'll know soon enough. When you rise from your raping beds, wiping your eyes, smoothing your skirts down over your thighs, now purple with your new master's handprints, perhaps you'll think of me. When you run from your conquerors, finding no mercy anywhere, only veiled eyes, turned heads, and snickering. When servants, children, and strangers on the streets spit at you and call you a whore, then, oh, I hope you'll think of me.
You actually expect sympathy from us. You, who never drew a breath that didn't cause an innocent person pain.
I gave up on sympathy long ago. How can anyone understand what it is to live in the remorseless noonlight of this endless visibility? Always I have been watched and judged, run through by the gazes of gods and men. I have never known the cool shadow of privacy, never known anything like ordinary kindness.
And you accuse me of self-pity. What can your petty vanities mean here? Look at the cost of your little drama and weigh your words. We may be slaves, but we still have the freedom to take our justice as we find it. What can keep us from having our revenge now that you are fully helpless against our hatred and without protection?
When have I ever had protection? This is so familiar. And hatred? It's all I've ever known. Bought and bundled from one bedroom to the next to writhe beneath my many conquerors.
You've had your choices.
You think I would choose this? To be loathed by the entire world. To be the source of so much misery. I never had a choice. I was the bride of force. Behind every man who took me stood a goddess who steadied his hips and whispered in his ear.
The shame of your actions cannot be blamed on a god. You saw your chances. You sniffed the air and you went where the pillows were softest, where the wine was sweetest. And what has it cost you? Nothing.
I have lost everything.
What have you lost? What have you ever valued beyond your own comfort? Your country? You abandoned them to wretched turmoil only to drag them behind you in your wake to us. Troy. You love Troy, perhaps. Fools that we were, we opened our shining gates to you only to let you seed your infection of woe in our perfect city.
I went where I was taken.
When the war was feeding at our city's teats and our husbands, sons, and brothers were dying, the air shaking with the keening of women bereft, still you walked the battlements to flash your hateful beacon of beauty before the sea of troops and make them writhe and toss into a fury at the sight of you.
I was the cause. My place was there. It was my duty to bear it in public.
I watched you. Not a flicker of remorse crossed that face of yours as the massacre raged beneath you. No screams of pain ever moved you. All our rack and ruin was reflected in your unearthly open eyes. Impassive as a bird of prey, you looked down upon those awful doings that you had brought into the world and calmly watched the balance of the scales dip and rise with every death. Which side was winning was all you ever cared to know.
I alone belong to both sides of the battle. Have you never thought of that? My face could betray no preference. There, my own blood called, the land of my birth and childhood. Here, my adopted country, the most beautiful city in the world. Every death was a loss, one side or the other. My heart was in ruins. There was no winning for me. I was unique in that. I could imagine no victory.
No victory. Nothing but victory. Either way, you won. Look at you. You came to us unharmed at the height of your power and beauty. And now you will be taken home intact.
Of course. I am a piece of property. Something to be stolen, hidden, rescued, or restored. A statue. A symbol. Nothing more.
I cannot even kill you for the pleasure of that justice. That is for your husband.
Oh, you think he'll kill me? After 10 years of fighting for me. For all your wisdom, you know nothing of the truth of men. You will take me back. It is what legend demands. What it has always demanded. You know that.
I wasted all my bitterness.
It would seem. I did nothing to you.
They stare at each other.
If this is the price of beauty, let beauty perish with everything else. Take her and defile her!
The women grab Helen and begin to drag her off.
What I have is given to me by the gods. It isn't yours to take from me. It belongs to no one, least of all to me. You are fools to hate me. There is no woman here to hate, only power. And you cannot skin that from me, claw my face to ribbons, break these smooth limbs, shave my shining hair to stubble. I will endure.
Helen is dragged away. Hecuba is alone.
What shall become of me? Old bee without a sting? I, who was the mother of a pride of warriors, who walked my palace floors on golden sandals amidst the bobbing of plumed fans. Shall I watch at my master's door, or sit the night watch for his coughing child? Might I hold a plate of figs for an idle Greek, standing like a statue as the night wears on, listening to the drunken talk spiral into battle as the wine takes hold, wind a prating girl's ringlet around my bony finger to curl her hair, crawl at my mistress's feet to hem her gown? Shall I turn a spinning wheel, or scramble down the dark slope before dawn to carry water from a well? Shall I walk the dung pile of a backyard, tossing cracked corn to skittering chickens, or sling soapy water across another's floor? What won't be asked of me? Curled with the dogs on dirty straw in my corner of the yard, I will hug my rags around me at night and think of my life I had, the city I lost, and perhaps someday, if I'm lucky, I will be past the weeping of it, and the faces of my dead will mottle and blur until they become indistinct, like stones seen at the bottom of a rushing riverbed.
Helen is brought back in. Her hair has been hacked off. She wears a grimy sackcloth dress. Her arms have been strung on a pole like a scarecrow. Her face has been bloodied with scratches.
Oh, so you think you're free of me now? As if what I am were ever just some body you could shame. You still think I am just some woman of flesh and bone with a single story? Whoever I might have been was blasted to nothing long ago in the transforming furnace of the gods' gaze. That girl was just stick and dung, fuel to the consuming fire of my fate. The girl you have punished died long ago. I became the Helen, the eating flame of beauty. She happened to the world. It had nothing to do with me.
Take her to her husband. Let him see her for what she is. We are done with her. Let him take her and kill her. We shall not taint our sacred soil with her blood.
Whatever you dream, you will always be dreaming of her. Night after night, your city will fall for her. She is fire that hollowed you out. She leaves ash and silence and moves on, having blinded. It is your sightless eyes she lingers. Even as you breathe your last breath, the scent of her will fill your senses. The shining beauty of her will flood you again. Try to forget me. You will fail.
Some of the women take her away.
Give her back to her husband. His plucked chicken, his stranger. Let him take his beauty home. Andromache!
Andromache enters with her infant son.
Mother, my queen.
My brave son's wife. Where are you going? What do you take with you?
I go to the Greeks. I take all I have. My son. Was I a good wife?
He loved you deeply. He called you his shield. There never was a better wife.
And that is to be the nature of my punishment. I am given to the son of my husband's murderer. Achilles' own son claims me as his wife. I am to go to his bed, to let him put his arms around me. I am to find comfort there, in the arms against the skin of his killer's son. I, who loved a prince. And they say it is because I was so prized. There was talk. A gentlewoman, she who was most intimate with the most powerful, she who shared the bed of the greatest hero, saw him unmanned in sleep and guarded his naked body with her own. She will be the greatest prize. I see the rest of my life lived with this stranger, contracted in sorrow and woe. How can this be? I am young. I have loved deeply. Shall I never be allowed to feel anything other than hatred? Isn't that some sort of crime? To waste a life in hatred. And yet if I feel anything else, even an echo of the love and happiness I have known, I will be betraying my family, my honor, my city, my country. Perhaps one can only hate a man so much, no matter who he is. Perhaps there will be some light left for me in this life, not just in the watery, dim light of duty and memory. Perhaps I will forget.
You must never forget. You were blessed above all women. You must never cease mourning. He was without peer. No one can ever replace him.
He's gone. He's gone. He left me here in this agony and shame. I envy him. He feels no pain. He cannot be disgraced. He is free. How am I to live?
You will live in gratitude and service to his memory.
Without joy.
Without joy.
Without hope.
Without hope.
The dead ask too much of us. I cannot do it. I will find a way to love life, even in slavery, even in bondage and degradation. It is only my body that can be owned. My mind, my spirit belongs to me.
You were so blessed in that marriage.
I was blessed before I ever saw him. I was blessed to be given life. It is a gift. I cannot throw it back in disgust because he was taken away from me. I must learn to love it. Even in this horror, even in this nightmare, even without him. Far from home, I will find a way. Oh, Hector, I loved you.
You were a good wife and a sweetness in his life. And you have given me my only grandchild. Be careful and raise him well in his new home. Teach him to remember. Tell him about his father. Murmur stories of us quietly into his ear when he sleeps, so that he will dream of his father's city, shining again high on its parapets. And let him come back to the hollow shell of this place and raise it again long after all of us are dead. Let him raise his father's city from the ashes and neglect of history. Let him marry well and have many children, and let these walls echo with Trojan laughter once again. Will you do that? For me? For your father? Then we will live again.
Then we will live on.
Yes, we will live on.
You will do this, little one.
In your memory, we will live.
Talthybius, a Greek soldier, enters.
Do not hate me.
You are only a Greek. Give me more reason.
I speak for others. They send me here to do this thing I can't say.
What could you possibly do to us that is worse than what has already been done? Kill us? We would sleep in surrender of our misery. Rape us? We are already tagged for parcel to our different rapes. There is nothing we have left to fear.
I have come for the child.
Which child?
Dead Hector's child.
Must he go to another master than the one I serve?
There is no way to say this. The council decreed.
What? Must he be left behind in the ruined city all alone?
Worse. Terrible, I can't say it.
What did the council decree?
That he must die.
How?
He must be hurled from the battlements of Troy, the top of the city walls.
Andromache clings to the child and moves as if to resist.
You must reason with her. It will only be worse if she resists.
You talk to her.
Lady, please let it happen. No one can help you. No one can save him now. There is no shame in submission at this time. You've lost. Your city, your army, your protectors are gone. It will be better for you. It will be better for him to just give him over. He will not know. Do not let him hear his mother's cry. He will not understand, and it will be quick. A moment in the blinding air, and then it will be over. Lady, give over.
Let her speak to him. Let her have him alone. One last time.
She has that right.
Andromache cradles the child.
You smell so sweet. My dear baby, my dear baby. You smell so sweet. I knew you were coming to me so long before my belly swelled. I thought, my son, he will rule the world. And you arrived shining like a conqueror. And through all my pain, I looked at your face and I laughed. Great Hector, shining sun. Let me smell your downy head once more, my darling boy. Your arms, your belly, your feet, your eyes, your lips. There is all the joy of life in you, all the hope. You are all and only happiness.
Talthybius takes the child and exits.
Greeks, savages, murderers, what has he done to you? That tiny child. What are you afraid of? He's a baby. I have no strength to save my only child. It has come to this. Oh, Zeus. Can you look down on this? Can you look down on this? Where are the gods who loved us? My arms are empty. I can walk now. I am light now. Nothing to carry. I can walk down to the ships and find the passage away from this cursed place.
Andromache exits.
They still tell the stories.
About the blessed city.
That when gods walked the earth.
They walked here, in Troy.
I told you that story. I was raised on that story.
No city on earth as splendid as ours.
No city so beloved by the gods.
Palaces were built of gold.
The streets were wide and lovely.
When the harvest was good, they said some gods had breathed on our fields.
I was told that one of my ancestors was a god.
And I.
And I.
Even when they stormed the city.
even when the battlements were on fire.
It was never hot inside the walls.
There was always a cool breeze.
And the scent of flowers.
We are blessed. Troy is blessed.
That's what I always thought.
That's what I was told.
That's what I was told. Oh, gods! I don't want to live through the moments that are coming. I don't want to feel the suffering that's on its way. Why do I still call to you? I say your names and I still feel protected. Just a childish habit. But still, I call for you.
We have lost the way of pleasing God.
You cannot care for us anymore.
You watch us and do nothing.
We built you temples.
We burnt incense at your altars, sacrificed every day.
All the flowers I grew and offered up to you.
The tree I planted that gave apples every year.
All of what I viewed as sacred, you have betrayed.
Talthybius enters carrying the child on Hector's shield.
I washed the blood off in the river that still flows through the city, and I found the shield, his father's shield. It was a great war prize, but I took it and I laid him on it. I will go and dig the grave, and then we must go.
Such a little child still. So small. And to think that I had planned your wedding already. I saw it so clearly. The flowers and shouts, because you would have been a king. And when you died late in life, your family and people around you, you would lie in state, mourned by half of the world. Find something to cover him.
Here.
I found something.
There's enough to wrap him in.
This will do.
Women wrap the body in scraps of their own clothing.
Not that it matters to him. His head is broken as an egg. Dark butcher death, you closed your eyes and swung wild. I have seen the end of all of my children. Oh, my dear women. Troy was not meant to last. All that we have loved has vanished from this quickening air.
The dead are safe in their nothingness.
It is we, captive in our own broken hearts, who must breathe and run, breathe and run.
Troy!
We will track your ashes throughout the world.
And when they ask us where we came from,
We will say, nowhere.
Nowhere. Children of this city, now we are motherless.
Look. Look, what's that?
What are they doing?
Up there, up on the highest tower, there are men with torches.
See the flames dance along the columns and arches?
All of the houses are falling. Wall after wall flashes hot and crumbles.
There is the city.
Breathing her last.
Screaming her death cry.
Sighing as she falls.
She is falling.
She is falling.
Troy is falling.
To the ships. It is over.
You, Trojan soil. You that I was laid upon as a newborn baby. You that nursed my mother and her mother's mother. You that nursed all of my children. Hear me. I call now to the dead. I beat the ground with my hands. Listen.
Listen. Listen.
I call to my dead.
I call to my lover.
I call to my husband.
My children.
My friends.
Troy. Troy. Troy.
Troy. Troy.
Troy.
We will remember you.
We will remember you.
We will remember you.
We will remember you.
A great crack like thunder is heard.
What was that?
What was that?
Did you hear?
I heard the city fall.
She is gone.
She's gone.
She is gone.
I dreamed there was a city. Spires glinting in the sun, stones cold to the touch, even on the hottest day. A city of such people, such faces, such hands, vivid with language, with stories, with plans. I dreamed there was a city, my home, and the sky arched blue above it as if to hold it in its gaze, as if it would last forever. Great in its history, famous in its exploits, known throughout the world for its fine waters, high vistas, and the smell of sea.
It's over. We must go.
We must go.
We must go.
Yes, we must go.
All exit. End of show.